I wish I could tweet it.
He wishes he could tweet it. All right, we should be up and live. It might take a few seconds on a few people's situations before they start seeing anything. But what's up, everybody? I'm JD Blay. I've got my buddy Dini here with me.
What's up, everyone?
He's the one who gave me the name JD Blay, actually, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Back when we were doing a lot of the things we're still doing.
Still doing it.
With those guitar tracks. Anyway, today, like I've been telling you guys, I got this new music project coming called Smashing Consoles. We're doing a lot of video game tunes. I actually got Dini doing some drums on some things and helping with production. But we're going to be digging into some mixing and having some fun with that. So you want to just do like a full listen through to start with this tune?
Yeah, let's get another.
Cool. We're going to do a full listen through on this first track here, and then we're going to go through and start picking apart the mix a little bit. Can't get it all. It's good enough. That shows us enough.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
People get away with it, but I think it's kind of...
Yeah, no, we shouldn't.
Oh, you found your appliances? Nice.
Dude,
we may have broken our washer today. Taylor dropped the lid and it's not working now.
For real?
Yeah. So I got to try and figure that out tonight.
Sick.
All right. Yeah, so that was Dire Docks from Mario 64. We're going to kind of dig into the mix of it now. Is there anything you wanted to hear in isolation, or what was your... first impressions?
All right, so my initial impression was A, great job. B,
look at him being all positive.
Dude, I was really nervous that I was gonna go A and then number 2. Like I was really like making sure that I did not hit that. But honestly, the one critique, and not even really a critique, but just because it's me, I just want a little bit more punch out of the snare drum.
A little bit more punch out of the snare drum?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of like, compared to the kick, the floor tom, the rack tom,
let's dig in here and
I
take a
think
listen.
it's probably the least beefiest drum that I want a little bit more beef out of.
Let's give it a little listen and see where we're at on that. I'm going to solo out the drums and the bass.
Let's check it. Oh, good call.
Now, out of curiosity, because I was going for like a kind of bigger, thicker snare.
Yeah.
It's got quite a bit of reverb on it. Do you think pulling out some verb might help with that attack?
Before we do that, because I'm not mad at the snare, at the reverb vibe.
Yeah.
Can we just like crank a little 200 or something on the snare drum?
Here,
Is
let
that
me.
possible?
Yeah, absolutely. All we got to do is pull up that project here real quick.
Yeah.
See, this is why I figured out how to route the mics,
Yeah, genius.
because that would have been a big bummer. Yeah, we're gonna be down for 30 seconds now while I boot a new project. Sorry, everybody.
It's all right.
Now, instead of hearing music, you just get to listen to us. Okay, so again, like now we're in a project that is just this song. We have the drums not printed, so I can pull up. I'm hitting. Here's our choice in drums here.
I love it.
And let me show you. The way I have this broken down is it routes out back into the DAW, and that's how I'll print. So I got cymbals, kicks, snare, toms, and then I'm routing all those down to a parallel that I'm smashing.
Good choice.
Which I switched over to a distressor on a couple of the tunes that were a little heavier.
Yeah.
So let's pull this up. Let me kind of give you the crash course here on how this works. It's going to take it a minute to load. That bar up there is it loading up the samples in RAM.
Yeah.
Part of the reason it takes so long here is on all of the different microphones. Actually, it didn't save, so I need to turn that back on. What we can do here is we can choose the mics we want and turn the bleed on.
Bleed.
Because a lot of producers and a lot of like metal dudes like to have no bleed in their mics, so it's very tight. I'm the opposite. I want all the bleed in my mics.
You're a natural guy.
Yep. I like that like big roomy, like I don't like everything to sound isolated to one place. I want it to sound very spread.
Yeah.
But here's the beauty.
Okay.
This knob right here, first off, you can go and choose, like, for example, in your snare, if you wanted to remove just the hi-hat bleed, you could do that. Or you could just turn the hi-hat bleed down a little bit.
Oh, that's
or you can
cute.
globally just turn the bleed up or down to fit.
So
we'll
you
listen
can
to the
adjust
drums.
the amount of bleed. That's insane.
Yep. Now this project is not going to be mastered, so it's going to be a lot quieter. So I'm going to turn it up for it's just a reference.
All right, hold on now.
Also, the mix on the instruments might be slightly different because I might have made tweaks in the other project.
I was gonna say it sounds slightly different.
Because I probably have a lot more parallel compression here.
Probably.
But
it
any
sounds like
changes-
it's way more compressed than the
Yeah.
other.
Oh, you know what? I understand what's going on here. I just have the compressor channel soloed.
Ha! That'll do it.
Figured it out.
Yep. It's like, why does that sound really compressy?
Okay, so here's our thing. Now, what we can do here, we could go in full change snares. If you want to mess with EQ and stuff, I have the mics here. We have top and bottom.
Ooh, mix. Sorry, Mike. Try to mix in a little bit more of that bottom. Let's see
A
what
little
we
bit more
get
of this
there.
bottom?
Yeah.
See if we can get some more crack out of the thing. So here's what our bottom mic's doing. I'll kill it here. That's very dark without the bottom.
Very dark without the bottom. Okay, I would say you can bring it down a little bit.
How's that feel?
That sounds pretty good to me. Gives it a nice little natural sound to it, since there's some rattle there.
Now here you can tell the difference when I kill the bleeds. Oh, here, let me get all of them. So I can go ahead and just...
Yeah, that's what a highly edited drum kit sounds like. That's
Right.
exactly that nailed it.
Yep. But you can really hear that.
Yeah,
Boy,
gone.
It just brings it to life.
Life gone.
Yeah, so then all of the mics route over to these buses. So I've got a kick, snare, all of these. So we can make EQ choices here if we want to affect all of the snare mics, etc. Hearing anything else you want to change, or you want to print this out and go check it back
How's
in the
the
project?
body feel to you?
I think it feels a lot better.
Feels better?
Yeah.
Like, did we make an improvement?
I think adding some of that bottom mic really brought it out a little bit. Let's see here. Snares on 5.6. Let's take a look at what we got EQ-wise here. This is kind of the EQ curve we got going globally on our snare.
See that little dip right at, what is that? Yeah, put that back at 0. Let me hear what that looks like.
See if I can just.
Kick it off. Yeah, no, that's a good move. Sounds more like a record that way.
Yeah, this is where things get a little tough, because other than the mastering chain, this is kind of where the processing for drums stops.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's pretty decent, man. Let's check that out.
Feeling
See
good
how
on that?
feels. Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll show you the way this.
So you bounce the drums out and bring them back into the other session, or you just import them into the other session?
So here's the way it works. I will select the tracks that I want,
Okay.
and then I have everything set up in a particular foldering system. So I have the folder built for that song.
This is insane.
Then I use a wildcard, so it grabs the name of every single track, and it's just going to go ahead and ask me if I want to replace them, and it'll just print them all out, named and ready to go. And when we boot the other project up, they'll be right there, ready to rock. It'll just auto-update them.
Damn. Avid. Looking at you, fam. Step up. Step it up.
Yeah, so that's kind of one thing that's nice. So it has these things called wildcards, so you can put these in the name. So basically, it's just like a coding
It's like
style
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So it'll just grab like the name of whatever tracks you have selected and ready to roll.
Nuts.
So when we boot up this project again, you should see a brief little window that'll be like updating files. So for anybody interested in doing this, it just takes a lot of organization, because
Yeah.
this project is like an hour and a half long ish with a couple hundred, and I still have it to where when I boot, it doesn't ever tell me that there's any missing files.
Hey. Chalk one up. That's a win right there. I mean, I still have like 4 missing files on old sessions. Like, jeez. I need to get rid of those.
I forgot the other thing that's kind of tricky, and maybe I could think about routing this for the future, but the other thing that's tricky is we were listening to the drums initially through the mastering chain. Mm-hmm. And then when we went back into the project, we're no longer listening through the mastering chain. That's just the session
Oh yeah.
on
Yeah,
its
yeah.
own. So
Well, let's give it a whirl. Let's see what happened. Did we create something bad here?
for me, I'd say the bass feels a little hot.
Is this just bass and drums?
Yep.
I hear everything on. I like that so much.
This thing's got a good crack to it now.
Yeah. Is it too much now?
I don't think so.
It's kind of cracky now.
Yeah, it lost a little bit of the low body.
And it lost a little bit of the punch, which is really all that I wanted, and it gave us a lot of rattle.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm into the rattle, but I want more punch back, I think.
So maybe go back and kind of maybe split the difference.
Yeah, Jinx, 1 2 3 4 7 8 9 10. I think there's a rule there where you owe me some sort of drink, and I didn't even. You know what?
You
Fair.
have a la croix.
I have a hua.
La croix. All right, so now we just got to wait for the RAM to load back up, because these kits with all the bleeds, it's about 3.5 gigs of RAM that it takes to pull that up. Mm-hmm. But let's see here. We pushed this snare. It was way down here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So
it
maybe
was way
just go
down
like
there.
halfway, like right
Yeah,
about there.
Give me a little tickle down there. Let me see what that feels like.
Let me wait for it to finish loading here.
So I gotta ask, if you're still viewing, Dr. Puffer, what kind of appliances may have you found? Because now I'm curious. So if you're still here, drop the appliance.
Oh, I'm sure he's lurking
Name,
about.
make, and model year, where you decide to pick it up.
That doesn't sound stalkery at all.
No, that's fine. It's just, maybe I'm in the market.
So again, we're losing the mastering chain now, but
Okay, that feels way better though.
yeah.
But I still want to add a little bit of punch to said snare drum.
What are you thinking?
Do you got an EQ on the global snare? that you
EQ on
can-
global
that
snare
you can
is
mess
this
with?
one here.
Is
yeah.
that one?
Yep. There's also one here as well. Looks like there's 2 sets of EQs.
What if, and hear me out, what if you slid that bottom
Yeah.
over just up like towards like 120, 150-ish?
Just kind of scoot it over there.
Give me a little more, like 120. I think I want to buy that.
Sound pretty good?
I think so.
Sounds a lot fatter now.
You into that?
It's definitely a lot more body in like the audible range rather than like the subby range.
So what I thought initially, I just thought that it was a little less beefier than the rest of the drums. Do you think it's on the same plane as the rest of the drums now?
Yeah, I feel like it fits pretty good. One thing we can do here too is we can solo audition these things. Kick's got a lot of beef to it.
Kick's got a lot of beef to it. Excuse me. And I'm not.
And I went for kind of bigger, like coated head, a little bit warmer tom sounds. So let me solo out the drums here again. Oh, they're already soloed for us.
Question: are they on this keyboard at all?
They could be.
I also have to. I'm trying to keep in mind too that I've got. Jeez, that was quick.
There you go.
I think I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I think that
Feeling pretty good?
That feels pretty even, yeah.
Yeah, especially for this song since it's like a water theme and kind of laid back and chill. I wanted the tone. Like I tried. Here, I'll show you. I tried swapping these out for. Initially, I tried pulling something from the progressive here, like a more pearl. Like like more like your pop punk or metal kind of tom, and it just really was way too pingy and ringy.
Yeah,
These were.
Is a great choice. I think the kit as a whole sounds absolutely great, and I think it's perfect. But I just was looking for a little beat. I mean, I'm a drummer, so you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
I want to feel that every time.
Here's our list of snare drums.
I love that. I love technology nowadays. Like, you just got a list of snare drums that you can just play with. And
Yeah.
choose between. It's insane.
All right, so and now it's as easy as pop, snizzle, bam, replace.
Wow.
And just let it do its thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
You're a madman.
I've got a system here now.
Yeah.
I've definitely worked out a system.
Yeah. When you were initially telling me how this worked, as soon as you opened your mouth, it was like in one ear, out the other, and I was just like, okay. Could you maybe do that? Say that one more time?
I had to be really, really cautious with, really thorough with the organization method too. I'll pull that up and show you while this is loading. Pull this up so everyone can see. So like on my storage drive is where I build like all of the initial songs. Music projects, Smashing Consoles. So like we have the song sessions and I have them arranged by game, by song. So like for example, if you're looking at Mario, pull up Mario, different games, different themes.
I see you.
So it's all like very organized.
Dude, my college professors would love you.
I'm sure.
They would absolutely love you.
He gets it. So then this is where
time
I do.
out. Is this backed up at least on 3 different drives?
Yeah, I've got 2 externals there, and then I've also got a computer out there that I back up to as well.
Notice that he's pointing, folks. This is important.
It's yeah.
If it's not on 3 drives, it does not exist.
Yeah. So this is on my like spinning plate storage drive. This is where I do like the majority of my operating system drive is a solid state. So the live projects, then I bounce all the waves and all the stuff. Everything that runs from the live project is run off the solid state. So I have a secondary thing here that once again has live session with all the songs in their own folders, with all their wave files in their own unique places. So when you boot up the session pulls from here, but it goes to all the unique directories to find all the songs.
I have so much to learn from you. This is insane.
And then also what I do is every single day that I finish, or like we do a session, I'll name a folder like the date. Yeah. And when we hit record, whatever we record, that will,
loving you right
that will go into its own unique folder for that day. And then every single day I just create a new folder for live stuff.
That's good. So do you open every session and save as the new date? Because
no,
that's the only thing that they're gonna ding you on.
No, and
you don't do that. But I understand why.
Yeah, the main reason I don't do that, I do a different system. I have revisioning systems. Okay. So every like 2 weeks or something, I will do a new revisioning system. And also, because of the way Reaper works, I'm able to kind of circumvent the need for the new project every time, because I have this here. I have a folder called Reaper Project Backups. What this does is every 2 minutes that I'm not like actively recording, it creates a backup.
Dude.
So like everything we've been doing, it's been backing stuff up as we've been going.
Crazy.
Yep. So if anything ever goes wrong, I just go back 15, 20 minutes, load up the revision. Also, I'm able to have undo histories that go beyond sessions. So like when I boot up Reaper, like for example, I'll show you. I'll pull up
anything that you have not thought of? I mean, I know you've been at this. You've been like in the lab for like months now.
So if you see right here in my undo history, this is where I just booted up the session. I can go back and hit undos from what we were working on like 4 times ago that we booted the program.
That's
and I have that, you know, I have undos all the way back till the 5th of February that I could undo in my history.
Avid. I'm looking at you.
All right, we're back in. Let's check out these drum tracks now. I'm going to solo drum and bass again real quick.
This is the process after we did everything.
This is after everything we've printed.
3 hits in, I'm already happy.
All right.
Is that me, or am I alone in this camp, or I think I'm alone in this camp. No, you're with me?
That sounds good.
All right, cool. I also have to remember that I'm using your headphones.
The only thing that I have to fix right now is the bass player sent me a printed track with a spring reverb that I hate. So someday I'll have him redo that to get rid of that, because it drives me crazy.
I play bass on that one.
Eric's brother.
Oh.
So keyboard-wise, there's 3 main sounds going on in this song.
Okay.
Start out with like strings filling up.
Yep.
So to get their idea of placement. And I fill the bottom.
Yep.
I don't really want them to be
so much present, just more kind of just felt in the entire audio spectrum.
There's the glue. Whereas this is more of a main theme.
Right. And this is iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows this.
I went in, you'll like this. I went in and automated reverb throws every time that hits.
Oh, you beautiful man. Oh, it's tasteful. I like that. I love knickknacks like that. It's great.
It's also one of those things that I'm focusing on, because I feel like in a live environment that's always missing, and I want that. So that'll all go off as we play live. It'll happen. Still feel like you can hear those keys okay?
Yeah.
Now when this theme comes in, we have a new sound on keys. It sounds like this. I need to solo both the send and the plug. So that gives you this washy, like really warm patty thing. If it ever feels like playing.
And, you know, sometimes they just don't feel like doing it. That instantly reminded me of something, and I can't think of what it was, but that felt
you
made
get
feel
that.
good.
You get this nice. And then the whole mix.
Do me a solid, bring me back a little bit, just so I can kind of hear that come in.
Yep.
If you don't mind.
Snare's got a lot of body to it now. I like that.
Yeah.
Much more than that audible, like you can actually hear the body. So Eric's note was he thought this guitar solo was too loud.
A lot louder.
You feeling that?
I mean,
maybe bring it out like a DB.
what other lead elements do we have? Like, because there's no vocals in this track, right?
No, he's pretty much handling the melody, the entirety of the song.
So like before this solo, what's the lead?
He's playing this.
Can I hear like the section before this part?
Yeah, he's playing this kind of Oh, so the section before is the build. There's no real melody.
Go before that.
Before that, he's doing this.
Basically, I just want to slap it up against like your previous lead.
There, check this out. We'll jump right ahead.
Yeah, do that thing. Abbott, I'm looking at you. I think you can do this though. Sound on me?
Feeling it's like it's okay?
Let me hear it again. I was kind of talking. I was being an idiot. Probably pull it back like a dB.
I think his other thought too is
I don't hate it.
As we're mixing for like live to Twitch and live to YouTube kind of stuff, a lot of people are going to be listening on laptops, phones, stuff like that. So mid-rangey instruments like that are going to appear a lot brighter.
Yeah.
I think that's probably his thought, was that on his phone it was blowing him up a bit.
Mm-hmm. That sucks so
I'll bring
much.
him down like 1.5. I know, right?
The amount of different size speakers that we have to mix for is insanity.
Yeah.
Like.
So the other cool little like what's the word that I'm looking for, like quality of life thing that I've done here is on all my VCA tracks. I lock their height so they never change. So once again, it's another visual, like I know exactly where those are. They never change, except for the ones that I haven't locked yet, like these. Oops, that's not what I want to do at all. Okay. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, this one gave me some trouble because if you notice, there's like 2 layers of MIDI here for the keyboards.
I did notice that. Yeah,
that's two at a time kind of thing. So
super 80s.
Let me show you what I figured out here and how I'm making this work, because I think you'll enjoy that. I have 3 plugins here. I've got Omnisphere, I've got Nexus, and Contact.
Okay.
And the problem I was running into was like I needed lots of sounds and I needed flexibility with the keyboards, but I didn't know how to not load up too many plugins.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing is I have basically, instead of like actually record enabling the plugin tracks, I built an in route for that keyboard and an in for that keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Like each of those, these are both their input channels.
Yeah, yeah.
And the plugins are on those channels, and I send the MIDI from the input to the plugin.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I do is both of these inputs have sends to all 3 plugins, and I just choose which plugin I want to send which keyboard to at whichever moment.
At which time, yeah. Yep. that's very creative.
Yeah, it was a nice little hack around only having 2 keyboards to do a lot of sounds.
You've come up with a lot of cool ways to really go around limitations that people think that they have, because you've
it's a whole new
proven that it's not a really limitation.
Yeah, it's been a whole new world, because like normally you're like, I need to do this, add another track. I need to do this, add another track. But now it's like, how can I do this without adding another track?
Yeah.
Without adding another plugin.
I have to admit though, the multiple MIDI tracks sending to the one plugin is quite clever.
That one took me days.
Did you see that somewhere, or did you just
I just had like 50 other failed attempts at doing other things.
So cool though, like that's so cool.
Yeah, originally what I was doing was,
I can't think of the last time that's something like that's happened for myself. Like that's cool.
Yeah, my original idea was super terrible. I just put a whole bunch of plugins, so I had like 6 tracks of plugins.
Yep.
And I record enabled all the keyboards, and then I was just like automating the volumes away, so everything was recording all the time. And I was like, okay, this can't keep happening. So are we feeling pretty good on this track? Mm-hmm. Last little...
I've got no beef.
Cool.
Except for on the snare drum, because I said earlier I wanted more beef on the snare drum.
Right.
It's weird how terms can be lots of different meanings.
Yeah. Oh, also, so another thing that has to be done, since we're live taking, there's no like chopping a wave and cutting it for noise. The guitar's feedback.
Right.
So that's what I'm using the VCAs for, to like automate down. So like, even though his track will keep going here, you won't, if he plays, nothing happens.
I see you.
Oh, if there's any string noise, anything like that. Mm-hmm. Same with fade outs. So that's like, cool. For example, here, this fade out ends with the guitar and keyboard going together and the guitar kind of washing into a verb. You can see the verb wash right there. So it ends with very little direct signal, lots of reverb.
Lots of verb.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then I built the region so I kind of know about where to stop so that there's no like cutting off anything.
Right.
The one thing you do have to watch out for, and this is the only thing that there's two aspects of this I need to fix. One, if playback's happening and I'm talking and I stop it, it chops when we're in Reaper, it'll chop your voice for a second.
Yeah.
The other thing I gotta watch for is make sure I have to automate all of the reverbs off at the end of the song, because if you start talking, you're in this big wash of reverb.
Hello.
All right, moving on to Frog's theme. This is from Chrono Trigger.
You got quite the list here, dude.
Yeah. Some of these are acoustic ones, and they're a lot lighter. Like from these last 5 are all acoustic.
And we agreed to do all of these by 6?
Yeah, all of them by 6.
Cool.
Sounds like working with Isaac.
It's awesome. Hey, man. Puts out content. Can't hate him.
That's very true. All right, so this one, I don't know if you're as familiar with...
Echo. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. Dr. Puffer remembers. I haven't fixed that in the band track because I just came up with a lot of this reverb switching system. So last night when Jared and I were streaming, or 2 nights ago, we'd finished the song and talk, and it was just like reverb for days. All right, so this one's from a game called Chrono Trigger. I'm not sure if you've ever played that one.
I've never played it, but I'm excited to hear it.
This one was an interesting one because there's really only like 15 seconds to the song. It's like a 15-second loop.
Okay.
So it came about like, no, we didn't expand on it. We didn't really write any new parts. It was more about reorchestrating. So it's kind of like constantly representing the same thing with a new theme. Let me make sure and change the keyboard patches here.
Cool. How much do you love Omnisphere?
A lot, except for how resource heavy it is.
Yeah, I was going to say it's heavy on the computer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very heavy. I'm doing a lot, like I'm going through and thinning out all the patches so they use less, telling it to like only pay attention to every other velocity, things like that. And also doing things like I turned off all of the reverb plugins inside of Omnisphere, and I send to my reverbs out in the console just for one less, you know what I mean? Like I've already got something handling a global reverb that ties everything together.
Yeah.
Why use a reverb in Omnisphere? Was kind of the idea. And then I'll pull up my contact multi for Frogs.
Super audio cart.
Dude.
That looks so cool. I have no idea what it is, but it
real
looks
quick,
cool.
let me show you what Super Audio Card does. I used it to create backup string sounds for a Final Fantasy theme, and it gives you these like old school video game strings, like a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So what that plugin is it's digital imitations or recreations of the sound chips from the NES, SNES, Genesis, Atari, Commodore 64, all that stuff. So like you can do legit video game sounds. All right,
That's sick.
Frogs theme.
Let's get it.
Some of the limitations with this one, the acoustic has to be an acoustic simulator. Yes, Chrono Trigger was a great game. Let's just listen through.
Yeah.
It's always got that intro for a click track. 8-bit me. I'm thinking about going through and doing chiptune versions of all these songs too.
So hold up. That's not a guitar. That's a MIDI instrument.
No, it's an electric guitar with an acoustic simulator.
Okay.
It's a very drum heavy. Right here, like the drums just get intense.
It does say metal up there. And increased. Why is the drummer so mad? That's sick.
So some context for you, since you don't know the game.
I do not know the game.
Chrono Trigger is this crazy RPG about time travel and all this stuff. So this kid ends up going back to like feudal Europe era, and he encounters this frog, this sentient frog, who is
frog's name. Yeah.
His name was what was his name? Cyril? I can't remember his name. Anyway, he had been turned.
That's funny.
Yeah, an educated death clock. That's pretty good. I can't remember Frog's name, but anyway, he had been turned into a frog by this wizard when he failed to like protect this princess. So he's kind of like this character who is kind of like an English background thing, which is why this has this very classical feel. And he's like trying to find redemption. So it's got this kind of somber. We tried to add like a somber sadness to the tune a little bit. Also, here's what's one of the things that's been making the mix take a little longer is even though it's all in one project, I can't just like print and go with drums, because if you notice the drum tones once again are wildly different than the song before. Like we got
what, 4 kits on this or what? What do we got going on here?
Project wise,
Yeah.
it's different for every song. New kit every song.
Another question I had too is are these fairly leveled? Like are they like the same like each track, but like between the tracks are they the same?
I have gone through and got them as close as I can.
Word. Okay.
That's what I'm using this guy for. Somewhere here. This guy.
Right.
So basically, this
a good
is
one.
this is
It's a
looking
real
at my
good one.
output on the way out. I have it set to -18, and
Excuse me.
I look at the loudest sections and make sure they're not getting too out of control.
Yep.
About -20 to -18 is what I'm looking for.
Good target.
So if I go back over here, we should see.
I like that.
And I'm trying to let each track kind of breathe. Obviously,
Right.
it's not as aggressive a tune, a little quieter.
I mean, every track is not wolves.
Yeah. Like, for example, you come over here to this tune, and this is like, it sounds like some Motown, wrong plugins, but
I ain't mad at it.
But like drum-wise, we got this.
Sick.
So I'm trying to, give each song its own thing, but also make sure that they feel good played next to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
done
assuming
great
that's what
work.
you were getting at.
Yeah, you've done great work.
So if you ever feel like something's weird,
I just think that I'm going to probably say often that I'm going to want a little bit more punch out of the snare drum. That's,
sure.
That's the only thing that I have a feeling that I'm going to be repeating myself on.
do you want to hear the drums on this one kind of by themselves?
Yeah, I do. And then also I super like at the beginning of the thing, we've got like a little bit of like a marching vibe, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And that's supposed to be like buried in the background, right?
Mm-hmm. It's more just like a
That's dope.
felt than heard.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Go ahead. Grip and rip it. Oh yeah, and then I thought that the in these headphones at least is when the acoustic came back, I believe this section was that
Yeah.
we were looking at. It just kind of felt a little plucky.
A little plucky.
Yeah. It poked my ears. Is that the same volume that we were listening to the entire time? Shit. Maybe it wasn't this part.
You might have been thinking this section.
Nah, fam, that ain't it.
Nope. All right.
Just proved myself wrong. It's fine. You know, it happens.
So drum wise, I think the first time around I've got pretty light verb going. The snare's a lot more like direct and in your face. I'm feeling this bass is a little hot personally. But the snare's kind of like right there in your face. When you get that ending,
Snare sounded good there.
yeah. When you get that ending, it's like that long, drawn out, kind of slow,
Yeah.
sludgy thing. So
Sounds
then,
heavy.
way more verb. got that. I wanted to fill out
that's
that
fantastic.
2, 3. I kind of wanted to have that like 3/4 note decay.
Yeah, that's I love that vibe. You got like pre-delay on that or something?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
let me
what was
fix
I gonna
this real
say?
fast
I was
because
gonna
I
say
did
something, I
realize I
forgot.
need to fix this. You need to fade out.
Oh. I want to talk about some drum fills that I heard in there. But I feel like that's going to take a little bit longer.
That's something we should make notes and I can go do.
That's what I'm thinking. I think we should do that on
You want
a
to
rainy
listen through
day.
the drum sections?
Yeah. I'd like to hear the whole thing again.
Oh, you just want me to start from the top?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to listen again.
Sorry.
Okay, this is
I don't know what I was tripping on earlier, dog. Like, I was like, something plucked my ears, but it's not this. Do you think this is a little MIDI? Like, do you think this will play back kind of honky on, like, laptops and stuff?
I don't know. I've got to. Well, we checked it on Eric's phone yesterday, and it didn't feel too bad.
Okay, cool. I just get worried about, like, guitars like that.
Yeah, that one we might want to
It's
visit.
super easy. Like, pro guys, what are you doing out
I
there
know,
to
right?
not make your stuff sound honky? Like,
So one of my favorite keyboard sounds that I got.
Yeah.
I wrote this part that's like a wind organ.
Oh, that's cool. Ooh. That verb on there, too.
So it's kind of like the wind organ, since they push so hard, they like almost distort. My only thought with this section is I kind of feel like maybe the backing rhythm guitars are a little hot. Let's see what you think.
The chords in the back. Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing it maybe like a dB or two down. Let's hear it. Let's just hear it. We've got the options. Tease me. Thanks for stopping by, Dr. Puffer.
Oh yeah, no worries, Dr. Puffer. Thanks for dropping in, if I could talk. Have fun at work. That's about a dB down now. So that was that
Let's
thing
get
with
it.
automation I was saying. It's nice, like once I create this thing, I can like grab and drag
Yeah.
real
That's
quick.
good.
So that's a dB down.
Let's get it in context. There it is.
How's that feeling?
I think that feels more like a cohesive together. Yeah, I think that feels good.
So another thing I've been doing, and this is just maybe a paranoia thing, but whenever I do these volume changes, I
Dude, I can
Come in here and do this?
Stand the amount of like little bubbles, balls. What do you want to call those? Like
little bubbles.
little bubbles.
But I try and make all the automation never have hard lines.
Yeah.
Just because since we're playing live,
if it's a hard
you'll
jump,
hear it.
Yeah.
especially if it's like a patch change or something, you might like hear a click sound on the guitar or something, and I'm always trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
Keep it smooth. Like even right here, it's gonna switch sounds on this guitar from an electric to an acoustic, and I want to make sure that you don't hear a pop. There's always gonna be a little, but I'm always trying to do as much minimizing as I can. So let's go from this section. Yeah, like that marching snare kind of in the back.
Oh, dude, it's dope.
And he's like a knight, so I'm trying to evoke that like, that medieval.
This is just a tasteful thing, and this might just kind of, because it's a marching and you got a lot of verb on it. Have you thought about maybe, or played with the idea of maybe pulling back some verb and pushing in the dry towards the end to kind of make it feel like they're coming up on you a little bit. I don't know.
That's actually a cool idea. Let's take a look and see how that's looking. How did I do this?
One will come out.
Because I think I've got
This
it
sounds
mixed.
so good though. It sounds like a straight up marching band. It's good.
So let's see here. Do we have a verb send on this? We do. It's pretty light. So let's start rolling that back as we move through the section. And then this area, it's super verby
This is killing.
for that kind of cinematic.
I feel like I'm about ready to go to war. I don't know if I'm supposed to be like that, but I feel
It absolutely is supposed to feel like that. So
I feel hyped.
now we got them coming a little bit towards us. The reverb's leaving us as we go. Good call.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
I like that. And then we get the big.
Yeah, that
Off
was
in the
kind
distance.
yeah, exactly. Like, where'd everything go?
I'm really like.
You need to
I
put
feel
that
like
Backstreet Boys. I don't know how they do that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
somebody phone us and let us know how that they do those, because those are sick.
I feel like with a
Sounds
lot of
good.
live stuff, especially like you were just doing a live band or whatever, you end up with this very flat image. I really want to get these kind of depth
Yeah.
things going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth.
So here we go into the metal theme now.
What's that clicking?
That's somebody switching the
That's
pickup
what
on
I.
their guitar.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
And unfortunately, no real way around those things.
I like it. Like add put a little bit of feedback right before it happens, and it's sound design. There it is.
That'll be one of those things that, like, as you're watching, it'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Hey,
I want that to really hit.
you do any master automation on this?
I can't, sadly,
Okay.
since it's all in the console.
Yeah. Kick kind of gets lost a little bit. I don't know if you want it to poke out as much as like a metal record, but I mean, I definitely hear it, but it could probably poke out a little bit more. Maybe some attack. I don't know. That's just also
Let's solo them out and check them out.
could be my
No,
personal taste.
I understand. Usually, like, for me too, I usually like those. Eric is usually more of like a rock guy that kind of likes those
He likes
duller,
some- yeah.
muggier kicks.
Hey.
But
Sounds good there. Something's masking it. That's
yeah, it's
called
probably the wall of
frequency
guitars.
sharing. Yeah, it is probably the wall of guitars.
So here's our start kick. Oh, let's get that keyboard out of there.
Is there any kind of
It could probably use some top end. There's also probably some in the parallel
Yeah, I was
chain.
gonna say, let me get the parallel because that's important.
And actually, there's quite a bit of bleed here too, so there's probably going to be some kick in like our snare mic.
That's me playing everybody. It's not.
That's everything.
Oh.
And yeah, with like what we got going on, we got lots of bleed in the tom mics here,
Yeah.
giving it that kind of very
that's
real,
awesome.
real vibe.
I really like that.
You want to go check out the drum rig on this song?
Yes, let's well, hold on. Honestly, I think, is there any way that we can get like a RTA plug-in on like the kick? Is that a possibility? Just kind of
Let's see
see.
here.
You got anything?
Just
like
something
that?
as an analyzer.
Yeah, just kind of check it out real quick. Just see where
Let's see here. Does Waze have anything?
they got PAZ analyzer.
PAZ. There we go. I should have a.
Heyo.
So it's a lot of low, not a lot of. It's a very scoopy mid, and could probably use a little bit more high-end attack to help it click.
Kind of click through a little bit. My question is, do we want to boost highs in the kicks, or maybe pull some 4K out of guitars? Like, I don't know if there's anything like that, or
So
what's your options here? What are you
yeah,
thinking?
so
'Cause I
it'd
know
probably
we're
be better
limited.
to add some highs to the kick because pulling 4K out of the guitars would be a little bit more. I don't have like an EQ. Well, actually, you know what? Let's look. Maybe we can. let's see here. I think I did put an EQ plugin on the guitars.
Ew.
So here's what we do. We pull up this and we say, let's...
Because.
Oh, here, let me make this so everyone else can see what I'm doing.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do here is just click the parameter here.
Yeah.
For band 3.
Band
and then
3.
tell it to show me, let's do gain.
Show me the money.
Let's do frequency. And then let's give me, oh, my gate's cutting me off
I
there.
was going to say, what's happening here?
I need to talk louder.
Come on.
Track envelope, give me the Q.
Do I have a gate on this one?
Yes.
I've been gated. I'm a loudmouth.
So now we can, well, you're also right up on that thing. Right up on it.
Hi.
So let's listen through this heavy guitar. I'm just going to, smooth jazz with Chris Dini. All right. So I'll loop this, and then what we can do is, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, we're probably going to want to do this more on the big, thick guitars, huh?
Yeah, bro.
These guys.
Yeah.
This is probably our problem
Probably
areas.
eating up some spice.
So let's do what we just did. Actually, this will be much easier to do from our list. I'm going to turn that down just a touch. Check. That's me.
Make money, money, make money, money, money.
Okay. So quicker and easier way to do this would be just to pull up the ungodly list of all parameters.
Mm-hmm.
And then just grab band 3 like that. Does this guy have an EQ on it too? The Marshall? No, and it's probably a lot of 4K nonsense. Okay, so we'll do the same thing with that. Bring up band 3. And then let me just pull up a graph here so we can kind of see what we're doing. So I'm just going to use the region. This is part of why I have this set up like this too. I can use that to grab the whole song.
Yeah, I like that.
So then we can take band 3. Let's add some gain to band 3. Let's move it over to about 4K. And let's tighten up that Q. What do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think about like that.
Tighten that bad boy. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. I bet it's gonna sound wonderful.
Let's do this before I forget. Let's cue up our drums.
Hey, look at that. Is this everything or is this a limited?
This is missing the leads in the keyboards.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and do this same thing to this one real quick.
Praise and
Where did I put this? I put the Q at 0.29. This is being a modern musician, everyone.
Yeah.
A nerd at a computer.
This is, I mean, hey, this is what you got to do.
This is what you got to do. Let's make sure that that curve looks the same.
I did not realize that I was going to become like a computer engineer.
Okay, so now we got everything with these cuts. That was a good call.
Is there a quick? Yeah, I mean, you said can we bypass it just to make sure that we're? But dude, that kick is so much there now. Let me get a double.
That's bypass.
Definitely pokes out more.
Yeah.
And I don't think it really like changes it like too much. You know what I mean? Like I think it just kind of reveals a little bit of that top end of the kick drum.
Not at all. Plus, those are not the live guitars. Those are more backing guitars.
Copy.
The way I like to look at it is it's our musical green screen.
Ah. It's very poetic. I think. I'm not really sure. I don't know shit about poems.
Real quick, if you want to take a quick listen through this again and into the next section, I gotta spend 30 seconds to hit the head.
Oh, bio break. Word. Yeah, it did. I was able to figure out how to stop it and start it again. It was really sweet.
If you couldn't figure that one out, I'd be a little disappointed.
Well, you know, different settings, different dog.
Now, so when we get to this section, Taylor's not playing lead anymore, and she's playing a rhythm. Do you think we should jump 4K on her guitar here now?
I wouldn't mind hearing it just to see what it does.
Cool. Let's do it.
To be frank.
Because she's...
I could be my uncle real quick. Hey, Frank, hopefully you're watching this. Hey, buddy.
Because she's getting in here with this thicker, crunchier guitar now. So it might be worthwhile to go ahead and do this. Let's see here. I want my plugin parameters. And then let's give me gain band 3. So we're going to take band 3. And it was about 4K-ish. Let's look at our settings here. We had minus 4.6 with a 2.9 Q. 4.6. So I also wrote the shortcut the other day too. I found this like repository that let me get some new shortcuts. So I found this thing for like hide all. Well, that's the show because it's open, but I can like hide all active.
Yeah.
And then pop up all active automation.
Yep.
Nice and quick. So there's quite a lot going on her guitar amp. So here's with this EQ cut now. That really does let that kick come through. Much better choice than adding top into the kick.
4K. There's a literal t-shirt that I have seen that's got an EQ and a giant dip at 4K. Like, it's real. 4K is not fun.
Personally, I feel like that guitar solo could come up a touch.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Not too much though. It's a little deviation. Yeah.
I like half a dB.
Yeah, that puts it forward for sure. I wish I had hair.
Now, the only thing I'm keyboard wise, I've got, let me show you what I got going on under here. It's these like young boys choirs that are very, very disturbingly creepy sounding. I'm a little
Just
bit
at the description, I'm creeped out. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I'm a little bit worried they're getting lost in the mix, but I'm afraid to push them anymore because we're already like, there's so much going
There's
on.
already a lot of...
So there's already so much going on. I already went and carved like all the low end out of these that I could.
It sucks because I do like this.
So let me bring
Pop the rest of it. Yo, you gotta bump them up.
Bring them up a
You gotta
little.
bump them up. It is not subjective. You gotta bring this up. That's not true.
How much you thinking? Like 2 dBs?
Yeah, let's hear 2. Cause that I feel like that's just gotta fill out the back of this.
Just really wanting that in there.
Yeah.
So here we go. Here's 2 dB up. Let me mute them so you hear what happens when they're gone. to bump them up more because I think they're going to start fighting with that lead guitar.
Hey, question. How about a widener?
I think I've already got one going on
Son
it.
of a gun.
But let's double check that. Let's see here. So these are my live auxes. Let's look at the actual patch itself. So on the effects, I've got a graphic.
It's such.
Oh, what do you know? No widener.
It's such kind of painful because you're doing this insane setup. Like this is crazy good, but like it's like I just can't drop ozone and just crank the spreader. You know what I mean? Like,
but Omnisphere's got
though.
one built in, so we can check that out. So I'll bypass it and we'll listen to it. Here's what we got. I need to send the MIDI to it. Actually, you know what? Here's what I do. I will just solo defeat those. So this is no imager.
Right, this is out.
And now we'll start pushing.
Hi.
You just want to go it all the way, don't you?
Just crank it. You already knew. I'm like having like get there.
I was milking it, man. You gotta milk it. Gotta give the people what they want.
Ooh, fun question. Do viewers on live broadcast, hey y'all, do they get a stereo feed or do they get a mono feed?
Yes, they get a stereo feed. If you can see here, it is stereo coming in. So they are definitely getting a stereo feed.
But it doesn't collapse like on Twitch's end?
Nope. Facebook was the only one that I know that had that problem, but I think they have since corrected it.
They don't do that no more? Okay. YouTube?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
So, and then halfway through here, it kicks over, and now we're in a patch that also has some light strings back behind it as well. Just filling out along with that.
It's nice.
You can hear that kind of texturing back there.
Can we hear this with the imager popped in and out with the rest of the track?
Absolutely.
Electricity truck. Oh, I already love it.
Let me pop it out.
Oh.
It's kind of like, where did it go?
Oh, yeah, you gotta keep that in there. It may be back now. I was kidding earlier, but that you might have to keep that in there.
Nope, that's staying. It really just
that's cool.
gives it a place in the mix.
Yeah, that's cool to me. Dude, that just made this so epic.
Now, so here's the thing I've got to make sure I always remember to do now that I've changed this, because this isn't just like a plugin. Like, I will be like closing this and reloading it because I'm physically playing this. So I do need to save this, like overwrite. And this is another one of those things where like your college professor might be a little sad because I'm overwriting. But
no, you're totally good.
It's just to eliminate clutter.
Yeah, if you're scratching out old stuff that you're not going to really use, then you're doing it.
Just because that way I have my list here alphabetical of songs. It makes it super easy to find all my patches. Quick, easy loads.
Yep.
Cool. So are we feeling pretty good on this tune?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to move on to something? So let's see here. We got some choices. Actually, we may as well keep listening to the ones that I've already like gotten the majority of the way there.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's jump into something a little bit different.
Just some Dre beats.
A little bit different. Have you ever heard of the game Portal?
I'm gonna embarrass myself on the Twitch community now. Is this the game that came with Half-Life?
Yes.
Oh yes.
It is tied to Half-Life. So there is a song
I played a little bit of Portal, yeah.
In this game Portal, one of the characters is an AI named GLaDOS.
Okay.
And she's the one kind of like leading you through the game, and it kind of turns malevolent on you. Spoilers, sorry.
Hashtag.
Any rate, there is a vocal track of her singing this song. And let me pull up the track here with the mix so you can hear it.
And just to go back to that last one that we were listening to, the last one that we were just listening to, that was the 15-second one?
Yeah, it's like a 15-second loop.
But y'all just basically we
just orchestrated it to make it work.
Yeah, so whenever I asked that question, you like revamped it or whatever I said, and you said no, that's not correct. You definitely did
we didn't like rewrite.
Right.
We didn't change anything.
You made it not a 15-second loop, and you added a hell of a lot more, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We definitely here, let me Because with
Yeah, I wouldn't
with
hate,
OST songs, I don't really care so much. Actually,
Yeah,
I won't
the
do that.
man and FCC and all you other people that care about copyright and stuff. Buy music.
So here is the original. I'm just gonna mute that for the moment so everyone doesn't have to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need that.
No. Watch. This is probably more likely to get flagged for copyright anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
So here's the original tune. Which apparently is coming through my computer monitor and not through my actual
I'll take
system
it.
for
That's
some
fine.
reason.
That's fine.
Not sure why this isn't coming through my actual computer speakers right now. For some reason, my computer like defaulted over to a different driver. I'm not gonna mess with it right now because everything's working.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But this is the original tune. Pretty different.
Yeah, definitely. But also same type of deal,
Yep.
which is cool.
It's got that, piratey.
Yeah, I got that March vibe to it. You nailed it.
So this is, I think I already did that. Okay, this is Still Alive from Portal. And it's once again, very different vibe. So we're just gonna be doing a full listen through here. Two actually. There's only two on this tune. But there's quite a bit of changes in the reverbs.
Yeah.
I dig this like more Motown-y kind of kit sound. I hit it with the tape synth super hard. I want it to be real warm. Heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. I was really excited when I found that patch. And I like the how it's like distorting out or bit reducing it or bit crushing it.
The mod wheel does some really, really weird stuff with that particular plugin. So like you'll hear it like just like almost completely lose notes sometimes.
Yeah, it just like just turns into full noise.
Like it's so gross. And then I have this like
really cool.
volume automation like it's dying.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Because it does kind of feel like it is dying.
Yeah. So this song actually, I probably should have put the reference in there. There is a vocal in this whole song. Which I probably should have put that in for you to reference.
Can I hear it?
Sure. Give me a minute to go make it.
Oh, uno momento.
We'll be right back. And by that I mean we'll be sitting right here, printing files.
Please hold.
Your call is important to us, as Dini likes to say. So there's a whole lot of, and we're gonna have this live by the way, but because in the game, it's an AI that is kind of the villain, and so it's always kind of talking to you like this because it is a robot voice. Right? Mm-hmm. So when it sings the song, it has this robot voice. So we have this effect going to, as you can see with lots and lots of MIDI automation here, to emulate.
Nice. That's cool.
So it adds a whole lot of cool, that all needs to go away. Is that because it was soloed? There we go. That's how it's supposed to sound.
What are you using for that?
That I'm actually using
a little vocoder. Oh, you're using Auto-Tune.
The Auto-Tune and then also the Biscuit 8-bit effect. Mm-hmm. And the Auto-Tuner, I have it on like the harshest setting. And then instead of letting it Auto-Tune, we went and like wrote the melody with a MIDI so that it hard forces
it actually does it, right?
Yep. So there's just like no choice for it. Call this vocal reference. And that should go right into the session for us. This one's going to take a little bit longer to render since I'm not doing a stem. So you see it's going to take its sweet little time here to print.
It's doing a lot.
I guess I could probably, we can put that up to volume later when we get it into the session. But yeah, so basically my process is we start a song, and we have like these unique sessions for this. And this is where I go through and build and we decide on the drum kit sounds, where I find all the keyboard sounds, where we write. Right. And then I kind of go back to that and I find out what all keyboard sounds I use and I build one big multi out of them and kind of go and back and re-engineer and relearn what we did. Mm-hmm. Usually I have no idea what I did, so I have to default to, oops, not over there.
Hello.
It's going to do that again. I have to go back and like write it all out so I actually know how to play it. Yep. Because otherwise, like we end up write and move on, and I don't learn it.
It's a lot. You got a lot going on here.
We got a lot going on just in the computers.
Yeah. No joke. Dude, we've been on for about an hour 15.
How are you doing on that? You out of here soon?
I think I'm waiting for a text from wifey saying dinner's ready at some point, and I don't know when that is. So.
All right then.
I guess that'll be the fat lady singing, as they say.
This is the most fun part about audio engineering, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Hey, at least we have good conversation, because often we're doing this by ourselves and talking to ourselves doing this. So,
which then you pull up YouTube and get distracted for half an hour.
Yeah.
But that's why I like having the two computer system, because video renders especially take like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
So I'll like kick that to the other computer so it doesn't trash my computer.
Right.
It's nice to be able to continue working. But yeah, we spent a lot of time, real quick while we're in here, I spent a lot of time with that gross keyboard sound in this session. And you can see I went in and like kind of more meticulously took takes of the mod wheel automation.
Oh yeah.
So it's
nice.
Live, I'm like just playing it, so it's kind of just however it happens.
Sure. That's cool.
So now we can pull this in. Luckily, and I'm actually kind of surprised that these projects boot as fast as they do with how much they have in them.
I was honestly going to say that myself, because I just do, in my little sessions, I think I've got like a virtual instrument in there, and it still takes Probably longer than this.
I think part of it with this one too, it's got a lot of waves in it, obviously.
Right.
But part of how I mitigate that is by storing all of this project on the solid state.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to deal with that. One thing that is a bummer that messes with me, and I had to learn how to avoid this, is my projects always start at the marker, right?
Right.
But if you notice, the regions always kind of come to the left of that a little bit. And if I show you,
noticed that, yeah.
The reason being is on every single DAW, and I've never figured out why, if I hit play on the click track and it's dead on beat 1, it will like half play that first click.
Pro Tools will not do that. Thank you, Avid. If you're right on the 0, it will play a full click. I have tested this.
That's amazing. And I don't know if you noticed, but I actually have audio files that I'm pulling, and I'm using Pro Tools click track.
Yeah.
So you can't hear it right now because it's routed to the cues, not to our main. But I am definitely using the Pro Tools click.
It's a decent click. I don't
It's
hate
the
it.
only click I can stand.
I don't hate it.
So Pro Tools, you're doing click tracks right. Thank you.
-5 people at Avid are going to see this video, I promise.
And of the -5, -20 will care.
Exactly.
Let's see here. So we're doing still live. Get my vocal reference track in here. This is my block for like stuff that's not going to be in the session that I'm just using as references. Eventually it'll all get removed.
This was a triumph.
Let's give that a little bit of verb.
I'm making a note here. Huge success.
Taylor killing it. Shouts to Taylor. Sounds good. It really does.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Satisfaction. Aperture science.
I'm going to say, though, it was a little sibilant but with this. I don't know if this is...
I'm working on that. I've got like
I'm
3
working
de-essers
on
on
that.
it, and it's still bad.
Well, I mean, that's what vocoders and auto-tune will do. Is there a setting within the plugin that you can kind of reduce that?
I need to look into that.
I thought there was, but I could be wrong.
But so this is with the vocal
Sounds
kick in.
Plus, too, I bet a lot of that 8-bit octo deal is adding a lot of that.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I haven't done this yet. I know how I'm going to do it, but I haven't worked out how to I haven't built the auto-tuner for live yet.
Dude, this is killer.
Sounds good, huh?
Yeah.
I'm excited about this track.
This one sounds dope.
Bring these vocals up. This is my favorite part, the harmony.
Yeah. Good shit. Can I say that? I didn't mean to say that. Can I say that?
You can swear.
Okay.
I have it so that whenever someone opens my channel, they'll tell them this is for mature audiences.
Okay, cool. Because if
So
I'm
you're
here,
good.
I will slip one. Sorry. I just realized we've been on here for about an hour and 20, and I've probably just been talking incredible shit this entire time. Sorry, if you see this.
Now that I have the vocals in here, I feel like these guitars are a little loud.
Yeah. I'm going to swallow it a little bit. Can we let Taylor shine a little bit? Because this is that hot fire.
Also, that nice groovy bass.
Dude, all of this is killer. And I'm now using this mic as a face stand.
It works well for that.
Yeah. Did you snag up that Wave Sibilance plugin that came out?
I can't run stuff that's not hardware
Yeah,
DSP.
as soon as I mentioned that, I was like, it's not.
I did realize that Waves has a hardware DSP box, and that might be in my future.
Yeah, we're about to put that in the theater up at work.
I still feel like these guitars are too loud.
They're swallowing up the vocals for sure. You got LA2A on the vocals or what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard the song before. This is fantastic.
So some things that are different for this tune.
That was really fun. I like that one.
We're no longer, well, in the beginning here, for this kind of airy ambient thing,
Yeah.
I'm still using that lexicon. So we still have that big kind of washy reverb, but I think I have a different preset. Once we get over here, though, we switch over, and now we're using a new verb that we haven't seen before, using this plate. And this plate is...
Plate's cool. I like this one.
The one that I'm using is like, you can see, like, I'm on like the almost not even a reverb setting.
I can see that.
So it's just this nice...
Kind of just fattens it. Makes it wider.
Oh, that's why that's happening. Because I solo
In
defeated
effect,
him.
is a spreader.
Yep. It just...
Spread. I'm sorry.
Oh, let me jump into the verse where the snare is actually happening. So you can see, like, like if I remove the reverb.
You took all the fun away. That was cool.
It doesn't like popping those in and out.
Well, you know reverbs.
But it's just that like Motown-y.
That's clean.
Yeah. Like, because I don't think those
That's
big
super Motown-y.
ambient
Would you
reverbs.
YouTube this or something?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. It's really Motown-y.
I just look for like the smallest thing I could find.
Yeah, that's good.
So with the whole drum kit, you get this nice tight room.
Can we maybe turn the ride cymbal down a little bit?
Let's see here. We can look at some of our options.
It might just be me though. You know how I am with the ride cymbal.
So right now I would have to globally turn them down. We can go into the drum session and bring that ride down a dB or two. You want to hear it in the mix before we?
Yeah.
Because that ride is pretty pokey.
It's out there.
Do the hats feel a little hot too?
Yes.
So what happens if I just dip the cymbals completely like that? Maybe if I bring these down a little.
Yeah, don't kill them, but bring them down.
Try like a dB or two. There's like 2 dB down.
Bring them down a little more. Back to that section.
People who are still alive.
Feel better about that?
I do, but I like to duck them.
No, I'm into it. I still think once we get into these distorted guitars, they're just too much. This guitar on the right is blowing me up.
Yeah, this one is not.
Let's check out. So I'm just going and turning that level down on our actual amplifier.
Okay.
So all of these automation parameters are like the knobs on the amp here. So you notice if I jump around, you should see
Yep.
knobbies moving.
Knobby knobs are moving.
I don't know why, but automation just still makes me so happy.
Automation's crazy, but it makes me feel like I'm chasing my tail.
Yeah. Now we should click to the gain channel. That feels a lot less like those guitars are crushing us now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just not a very guitar aggressive song. And I really want to make sure the mix doesn't detract from the auto-tune and 8-bit effect. I don't want that to be lost.
No, I don't think you're in danger of that.
And so then when I drop down to this mellow verse, it kicks back to that lexicon verb. For bigger, more ambient.
I think I prefer
But I'm going to keep her voice with the tight,
Yeah.
inside.
if you are in agreement.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Can we look at what you're doing with the de-essing? Just to...
Oh, that's in the other.
Oh, is that another thing? I forgot about
Also,
that.
I did it on the way in.
Oh, copy you.
So it may not. Actually, I probably did it once on the way in and once after because, yeah, it needs a lot of de-essing.
It's just so rough.
Anything else in this song you hear?
Dude, this song's awesome.
You want to top to bottom it one more time and
Yeah.
just see if there's anything else?
Let's do it.
Oh, actually, real quick before we do that, let me show you some of my favorite ear candy things.
I like candy.
I mean, obviously, I love this.
Yeah, you do.
But I got this nice organ thing. I think I may have shown you this. It's kind of churchy.
I don't think you showed me this. Nice.
So that's going on.
These all the same plugin?
Yeah, I'm just patch
Just
switching.
patch
and-
switching.
over every miss.
Also, one thing that's really nice, and I was worried about this at first. I don't know how this works, but if I just move, right, it doesn't actually have to hit the program change. It knows whichever
It just
one.
knows where it's at.
Yeah, like
cool.
even though the program change is behind me, it knows that
Right.
it's the most recent one, so it
Yeah.
changes.
It's not like it missed a MIDI note, like, you know what I mean?
Right. So
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like that. Like it was going to be like I had to roll over the program changes.
Yeah. Which I
so
find
yeah.
that quite annoying, by the way.
Yeah. So I got this cool organ thing, and then I've got this really big patty type thing on this song. So this is just filling out space. You can hear decay.
And tore me to pieces. And threw every piece into a box.
Sounds good.
I like the kick and the snare and everything. I want them to be very, very non-threatening in this song. It's just really light, really like they had a bunch of tape on the drums.
Right. If you come through tomorrow, bring a couple bounces.
Yeah, so we
that
can
I
reference.
Yeah, so I can just check the shit out there.
I was hoping to do some reference out there.
Let's do it.
The only bummer about this setup, since I'm routing out to print, is I do have to old school print.
Yeah.
I have to real time bounce to a track.
Well, I mean, you can just print out like a 2-track and then we just write notes.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's the only way to do it with
You're
this.
like, that's literally the only way.
Because otherwise, given the way we're mixing, we'd be referencing without the 2-bus
Are
stuff.
you trying to tell me you don't have like some command prompt nonsense to print me off stems on each
Oh
one
no,
of these?
I absolutely could.
Oh no, I absolutely do.
I could. But if I were to do that, we would have to like, well, I guess since you got the Apollo, so we could rebuild the master chain at your place and
Like me.
Yeah, I think we'll be alright that way. But
I can just do 2 tracks and we can take those.
It's way easier though.
I love the vocals in this tune.
It's so good.
It's just so
I'm already
catchy.
starting humming it. I've never heard it.
I also like the panner because it
I love
helps
it.
keep it out of the way of the vocal.
The only thing maybe I'm thinking is just to kind of clean up low mids a little bit, bringing up the high pass on that sweep a little bit.
On this guy here.
Yeah, that was my imitation. How'd I do?
Not bad. All right, let's pull this up.
Just because I think
It's a little messy.
It sticks on top of something in there, probably the bass. You know.
Pull up our patch here. All kinds of garbage going on
I'm
here.
smoking.
We'll pull up a graphic and then just dump 50 hertz. Maybe dump down 100 a little bit.
Dude, I thought when you pulled that back, it just cut it all. I was like, oh, it was all 100. I see.
Maybe a little 500.
Yeah, it might be a little higher. They're too much though.
Boy, that really does cut a lot of that mud.
Yeah. It's really
Certain
fun
context.
being a new set of ears because then it just sounds like I just know what I'm doing. Because I come in here and be like, oh yeah, this and this and that and that. Yeah,
Feel better about that?
fits nice, yeah. My only word was, did we scoop too much? That was my goal is I didn't want to scoop too much.
I mean, I want that to be more of an ear candy thing. The vocal is still the
You
focus.
still want that vocal, yeah. I like it. And honestly, I think you could probably... All of the vocal is is automation, right? So you could technically go through the pass and like fader ride on the vocal.
Yeah,
I would probably just do that.
Once we because this is like a pre-printed thing, I've got to figure out what Taylor's vocal mic's gonna be.
Yeah.
What we'll end up doing is once we're ready to go, we'll do a live cut with the vocal. And, Which that's what this already is. These keyboards and guitars are a live cut. Yeah,
to me it just sounds like you need a little fader riding at the end, which is like every main vocal at the end of every song.
As things build.
Essentially gets to, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, this is like all of these keyboard tracks, guitar tracks, this is all the live takes. So.
Well done.
This is what it will sound like when we play live. And no miming. I will not do that.
What is that?
It's when you pretend to play.
Oh, people do that?
And I've had
you know what?
I've had multiple people as I was struggling to make this work be like, why don't you just mime it?
You guys, stop it with that. All right. I watched a video. Yeah, that makes me sad thinking about that. I watched a video, a drum cover of this. Yeah, apparently this video went viral, but it's like entitled "Dude Kills Travis Scott Sicko Mode," and he did decent, but like it's all samples. Like it's like he probably hits a lot of the strokes, but I mean like. It's not the same, folks.
It's
like,
not the same.
You can't like it. The feel of the drums by the really mic'd versus just let's add a sample for every hit is
worlds different.
Not the same.
That's like the main reason. That's the main reason why I've been so stuck on the Superior drummers. They do such a good job of like giving you those lots of varieties of hits, so it never sounds like the same sample just going off all the time.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to jump into another track?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is, or anything else immediately jumping you on the other one? I know this is a lot of songs real quick, so it's a lot of information.
I think that felt good. Okay. I liked that one. Like the de-essing was probably my last comment.
Right. And that's something
my final answer.
That'll be once I set up her mic and get her live, because that's not the live track.
Right.
So I will... And I could use your help trying to figure out how in the hell to de-ess her voice enough.
Let me know. We'll figure it out.
Because she is super sibilant.
Is she sibilant all the time?
Yeah.
When she's talking and shit? I never noticed that.
Yeah. So it's something we're working on. What I'm doing is like making sure to aim the mic not on axis.
I was going to say off axis is going to help you.
Do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Probably a dynamic mic will help you a little bit better.
Yeah, she'll be using a 7B.
These are great.
So before we finish up, I'll pull up the cover band thing, because one of the things I've been running into is even with a dynamic mic, the amount of compression necessary to handle this without like extreme fader rides, because like I could go fader ride it, right, but it's never going to be consistent because you're going to perform different every time. Yeah. So you can do broad stroke fader rides, but not small ones. So I compress pretty heavily. I'm doing like probably -10. With that much compression, even if I'm 5 feet away playing guitar, it picks up my strings and you can hear the acoustic of my electric guitar and bass through all of the microphones.
Yeah, it can.
So dealing with that is something on the other band that I have to work on. All right, so this next tune is from an NES game, from the DuckTales game from the NES. This is a tune called Transylvania. So it's from DuckTales. And
it's not the theme of DuckTales?
No.
Damn it.
This is probably one of the most metal things we've done.
Okay, well, it is called Transylvania.
Yeah, exactly. So it had to be. It had to be. It's Pat Lurkin.
I hope so.
I still need to write keyboards for most of this song. So it's mostly a guitar mix right now.
There was a version of this in DuckTales?
Yep.
Where? All the Ghost Notes too? I'm kidding, obviously.
That was totally in the original. I got some dubstep waddles in the next section. I need to rewrite them though before I finish.
Nice.
Oh, something was missing there.
I liked it. What? That was missing?
Something.
Please leave believe it.
Hold on.
That
No,
was-
what's in there is even better.
That's man, it better be. You're right. Something's better.
That's a legitimate NES tune thing.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'll shut up. You already know what I'm gonna say.
What?
You already know anything I'm gonna say. So one more punch.
A little more punch on that snare. I feel like the toms are a little loud.
Could be kind of appropriate. That's like on the line of appropriate versus
Especially with that kind of Sepultura-y section.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you're doing toms like that, I mean the thunderous is dope. Like
So this is when it gets black.
hell yeah. Oh hell, the Dark Lord.
DuckTales World.
Oh shit. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Yep. So that was a shout out to Cradle of Filth right there at the
Yeah,
end.
right. So I had some fun with this one because I again went for a new reverb. I've got this like really tunnely like.
How
You
fun
know-
is it to design reverbs? Just on a side note, real quick, like
Yeah.
that's probably one of the most fun parts about
It's incredibly
doing it.
frustrating,
Oh my god, like
but fun.
yeah. Once you nail it, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and then up until like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I was stuck with just one reverb because I was out in the console. Well, I had two. I had a short reverb and a long reverb.
Yeah.
But now I have, I have the Lexicon 480 plus the plate, and then I can change presets in between songs. So anyway, this one has this really like, like basement-y kind of vibe. I'll solo out the snare so you can really get a vibe for the reverb. If I were to remove the verb. Sorry about that.
No, that was sick.
You know what I mean? It's like black metal records are always overly done. And then I also went through.
So mad, it's awesome.
And then I also went through here and added like you'll see on the guitar amps. Let me pull up the actual amp.
It's
not
just
the
missing
pedal board.
polyrhythms on the kick.
Yeah, right. So before the guitars just kind of have this normal like mid cut, but once we get to this black metal part, I put a whole bunch of top end on them, so they're busy black metal-y.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get this like.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like here it could even be like.
Almost. You want to borrow my HM2?
Yes. Which I probably could remove some of that low end. And then, of course, it wouldn't be right without the.
Yeah. That's Devil Wears Prada number 101 right
You just
there.
sit there doing this. Yeah, so far there's not a whole lot of keyboards going on in this song. I still need to write some. The only stuff that exists so far are the little chiptuney things, which are basically exactly how the original was. This thing, that literally sounds like 100% the original.
Is that not a sample?
No, I use Super Audio Cart to use the NES chip to recreate it.
Basically a sample.
So it's essentially a sample.
Essentially better than a sample, really.
And then it's got these dubstep wobbles that I need to rewrite because the sound is not quite there.
Wobbly wobbly
So it's doing these kind of. And I need something that's a little bit less.
Are you looking for like full blown like?
Like it needs to be full on like.
Yeah.
So I need to put some time into going and finding those.
Yeah.
I've got the plugins for it. I just need to do it.
You just got to do it. Well, I mean, you
doing
got
all this
quite
other
a
crap.
bit here.
So what was your first impression on this tune?
Is metal's piss.
It's pretty straight up.
Yeah, it's very straight up. More punch in the snare drum.
Okay.
God damn it.
And I'm assuming you don't mean volume by that. You're talking some EQ work?
Punch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of punch you thinking?
I mean,
Do you want me to solo out the
shit.
drums?
Give me another boost at 150. You
think that's gonna be it?
I mean,
Got that nice China.
yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it just needs a little bit more beef.
I think I'm using a piccolo snare on this one, which might be why.
I mean, but the tone, like the tone is there. Like
Right.
that is the tone, but it's just not like I don't know what it is, but like a lot of sample libraries, like it just the snare and like the kicks, like a lot of these kits, they sound really good like when you do the one shots or whatever, and then like when you program a beat, it's just like I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It just lacks a little bit of that punch. I think that but like it's
You
weird.
like that? You like that setting right there?
I love that setting. Cranked.
Yeah. So, if you see these are all like super cut up, one thing we did do about this is the nice thing about Superior, I'll show you this because I told you about it, but I haven't showed it to you. They have this groove library here. And these are all beats that were played on electronic kits
Right.
by
That
real
you
drummers.
were telling me about this. Yeah.
So we're not like programming anything really. We're grabbing real beats, but we do move stuff around.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you end up with some programmy feeling things. But it's pretty cool because you got this like tap define and you can like, right. And then just be like, show me all the beats that match that.
Shut up.
So now it'll give me like a percentage, like if I remove this, it'll be like, okay, so here's beats that, stuff that kind of fits that vibe in different varying formats of what you have.
Well, I want that.
Hashtag this is not product placement. I just really love Tune Track.
Tune Track
Got a little bit of
paid
that.
him to do that. He did.
It's got a nice groove to it.
Yeah.
I end up finding that there's certain drummers that I really like and some that I don't.
Mm-hmm. Chris Dini.
There's this fusion pack that has some pretty cool stuff. All the like syncopated
Oh, yeah.
kind of groovy stuff.
Now, yeah, that sounds just like me.
You totally pull this kind of stuff. Anyway, so this is how we kind of write is we end up like kind of writing a generic beat on the kit. Mm-hmm. And we play it because
expand
that's
it.
the other nice thing is that not only can I like click this, but I could rig it up to this
Right.
or the electronic kit.
Quite
You can play
right.
your beats in
Yeah. Stuff. Whoa, you got a stack there? Yeah, you do.
on what?
Is that a stack or a China? That's just a graphic for a China. Never mind. I'll shut up.
That's a
looks
it's a
like
type
it's-
of China.
it looks like two
this,
symbols.
This here can be a stack.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and then you can also add in other like I could go in here and just add a stack, whatever. So here's our snare drum.
I want a stack in real life.
So we got this 3.5 by 14 piccolo.
See, I'm not
So
hating on it.
here's some thoughts.
Can you add another snare drum?
We absolutely can add another snare drum. I kind of thought you were headed there. So we can stack here. Let's see here. Let's take a look at our MIDI real fast.
Also super, I don't know how, like, is that talked about a lot? Like, but, like, you probably should be stacking your samples. Like, if you want to compete, like, with...
Yeah, for certain
With a
things,
lot of
it's,
things,
it's necessary.
Yeah, not a lot of people are just sticking one sample in there. They're stacking their stuff.
So also here's a difference. I've been using just the snare. There is also a rim shot.
Oh, there is a rim
articulation.
shot option. That is the Chris Dini Especial. There's not actually that much of a difference there.
Yeah, it's a little attackier, I think, but not too much. Should also be a stick click.
Nice.
But we can audition the different.
Yeah, it's a little bit beefier.
A little bit.
Got
but
some more ring to it.
let's try adding a snare to this. So let's add to the center. I just wanted to make sure because if there are rim shots, then I need to add a sample to both the center and the rim shot, so it double triggers the snare both
Yeah,
times. So here's our libraries to choose from. We have quite the choice. Let's start with
Dear God.
just the Superior 3 library.
That's fine.
Because it's got quite a lot of good snares. So I'm just going to hit snares, and then let me know when you hear something you want me to try and stack.
That one.
Yeah, right. I actually use that a lot for like rods.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it also gives you a little visual of the snare
Let
there.
me get, go to that 7x14. Let me hear that.
That's all the way down
Yeah,
here.
right.
I like this one. This was the one that was on Dire Dire Docks.
Stack that one.
And then also, is it gonna? Okay, it's going off. So then what we can do is we can click this and we can blend it to
Just
taste.
level, yeah.
So that's with both. Here's if I mute this.
I got some beef. Doesn't really do a whole lot. Just adds a little bit. Yeah.
It's kind of A/B back and forth here. Real quick, I'm going to turn it up because we're a little bit quieter now. Oh, actually. Quick thought. There's no way to do that quickly. Never mind. Yeah, let's just turn it up a little bit so we can reference. Kind of comparing what we've been listening to. So that's with a little bit more body. Let me remove it.
I'm sold.
You liking that snare?
I think that sounds nice.
It's a good snare.
That is a good snare.
You can also pitch them up and down.
Send that to me because I like that. I want your snare drum.
You can also retune them. So if you wanted a little bit more, like tune the heads down.
Yeah.
And they do a good job of making it really sound like you just crank the head down a little bit.
Have you seen that Waves Torque plugin?
I've seen it, but I'm not super familiar with it.
I've been playing with that to tune snare drums. It's pretty fun.
So and then
helpful.
My idea for like if I ever had someone jamming drums with us would be the same kind of thing with the keyboards. What I can do is I can write this full kit the way we want it, save it as a preset, and then I have like named by songs.
Oh, nice.
So then like somebody on an electronic kit could like just queue up different kits for different songs.
Yep. Come on over here, boy.
With this setup,
I've seen it.
Let's see here. Yeah, and then I've got the distressor just destroying.
Yep, that's a crush.
You can see how much that's. I'm not being gentle.
It's not red enough.
Not red enough.
I'm just
huh?
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Push that. See if we can get it to hit 20. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's a distressor.
That's the way I use that plugin. I never change any of the settings. I just throw it up, turn the input up, and turn the output down to compensate, and walk away.
The most absurd sounds sound great through the distressor.
Yeah, so once again, we'll just stem these out, hit print. It'll replace what we need. Good to go.
Nice.
Organization is the key to my sanity in this project.
Sick. That's sick. So how many USB slots are you using on your one computer for all of this?
Well, let's see here. I know I have a few things directly connected. I've got a 7-port hub there.
I was going to say, how many hubs do you have?
I've got a 4-port hub there. There's another 4-port hub down there.
That is incredible.
And then I think a good chunk of my USB ports on the back of the computer are taken too. So I'm probably using a good 20 USB inputs, not counting the 7 or 8 that are plugged into the other computer. It's a nightmare of cables in here. See, we do this. If you look at the webcam, everything looks all pretty and nice because the scene we keep clean, but the back area, like the peripheral the around the room, it's a shit show.
It's called a set, folks.
Yes. And if you've never been on one, everything that you don't see on camera looks like ass.
It looks like shit. It looks like the back of a circus. Like when you walk behind and everything is all cardboard and shit. Like that's what it looks like.
Yeah, along with the sadness of the people involved.
Right. And Vegas kind of looks like that too. I was very disappointed the last time I went to Vegas. I was stumbling drunk and I walked like behind a hotel, like behind the strip, and it literally looked like a carnival. Like everything on the strip is just cardboard propped up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or for any of you
really. It's not like cardboard.
For any of you other engineers out there who have been in the business like Dini and I, it's kind of like when you're in your ballroom or your event room or something. As soon as you walk back into like the kitchen or that hallway that runs back behind your ballroom, it's just tables everywhere and it's just a big mess.
Yeah, go behind the drape.
Yeah. Anything behind the drape is just a night. Exactly. Like that drape is the line between what everybody thinks is happening and what's really happening.
Seriously, don't look back there. It's so bad.
All right, here we go with a snare with a little bit more body. Yep. This is why he's here. I also love how easy it is to just stack a second sample.
Yeah, that was incredibly easy. I don't even think it's that easy on whatever I'm using for samples and stuff. Yeah, because I'm using, I think, Slate, the old version.
mix, I usually have like 3.
Yeah.
Because I usually have like the attack, the beat, and then I have like a clicky meat kick kind of thing. Which you can really hear on the kick on this tune.
Hey.
That super sample kick.
Yeah, are you boosting it like 6?
I'm not doing a whole lot of boosting. I think it's mostly just like
naturally.
It's like a sample from a TD20 kit or something. You know what I mean? It's just like all attack. Yep, the ticky ticky ticky.
That's what all death metal drummers play with live.
Dude, every mix I've done for a death metal band, they're just like, can it just have more click?
Can I just get all the tick in the world, please?
Can it just click a little more? A death metal kick.
It is fun as hell live though, like when you're playing trigger kicks and it's just. Yep. What's fucked up is that it doesn't even sound bad. Like it you could print that and nobody would bat a damn eye.
Right there, it actually sounds good.
It actually does sound good. I'm cool with that. I always feel so like. Oh shit, that's tight. I like that. What is that? Like, what do you call that effect? That reverse of something? Or?
Yeah, I added a reverse delay onto the swell up. So like I hold down the thing and it's got like a little reverse scoop and then also a volume swell right here. So it's like.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Also, there's a piano playing like boo, 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 and it's got a reverse delay on it, so you can hear that kind of. Shoop,
yeah,
shoop.
That's sick.
So one thought from me here. Also, before I forget, for anybody out there who's interested in like writing out drums, because let's be honest, in today's world, like if you're a producer, if you're a musician at all, you're gonna do some drum programming.
I'm a drummer and I do it all the time.
Yeah, it's just part of your life. It's part of the workflow these days. With a blast beat thing like this, if you ever find yourself doing something like this, the secret is the snare drums, velocity-wise, never over like 100, because no drummer can do more than that, and a lot of variety. You know what I mean? If they're 127 every time, it's gonna sound fake as hell.
Do you take the pencil tool and just kind of fucking give it a little thing, or what's your?
Normally I would, but with these, since they were played by a drummer, not necessary.
It's just actually not consistent. Yeah.
Because it basically what it is, it's a keeping yourself from going and fixing something that shouldn't be fixed. Right. Because you could look at that MIDI and be like, oh, I'm gonna tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, which is the benefit of MIDI is all of the flexibility. A hindrance of MIDI is that, because I mean, shit, I'm still dicking with the same drum tracks for I don't know how long.
Yep. So my only thought change with the drum track is right here at this end after this big snare fill or tom fill. I'm kind of feeling that snare hit should be a flam. Right here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Would a drummer actually be able to hit that flam though?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I guess you're coming off a double kick.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're coming off the kicks, so
let's go. Let's go flam that up.
I'm gonna flam that up.
I know it's a lot of. For those of you watching, if you're new to this or haven't seen this before, it's a lot of little details and a lot of things that seem like they probably wouldn't make that big a difference.
I hope there's at least one person that watches this that is like, I don't hear anything that they're fixing.
These people are just crazy.
Yeah, they are making this shit up. Yeah.
They just want to make money and they're just totally making this crap up. Bunch of assholes.
I should just start writing like self-help books, because people buy those.
So let's see here. We have...
Side note, I guess. I don't know why I said that.
Actually, since I don't want to set up both samples, let's build our own flam. We'll just kind of delay that.
I do that all the time.
Normally, when you flam, you're going to hit harder with your lead hand than your secondary hand, correct?
Negative.
No? Harder with your secondary hand?
At least for me.
Okay.
Because generally speaking, when I'm doing a flam, I end on my dominant hand, and I'm a right-hander.
Gotcha. So like what I was saying before, though, with this blasty stuff, if you guys take a look at these snare things, their velocities are not super high, and they are very, very inconsistent. If we were to change that, just to temporarily show you here, let's compare and contrast.
About to be Dave Pensado up in this joint.
Oh, geez. And you think to yourself, like, well, you know, we'll just fix that a little bit.
I will tell you right now that 95% of the records that are out are
They do that.
definitely 127 all
I
the
know.
way through, but there's like maybe 2 drummers. That was
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, so that flan, he's not wrong. That is how records you hear are. I'm just not.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. I like that real.
You should preface with, if you want a more natural sound, do that. If
Yes.
you want the more robotic sound, crank the 127.
If you're rocking a gent record,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
even it out more.
Fucking 127, gate your guitars, gate your bass, gate your kick, gate.
And manually cut them.
Yeah, gate your vocal, gate you, like
Yeah.
like
Add distortion to everything and then gate it.
Crank it, yeah.
So here's with the flam. I feel like just that little glimpse of it made me feel pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
just-
that's like, oh yeah, for sure. That actually even makes it sound like more, don't be offended by this, more real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, it makes it sound like something more a real drummer would do.
You're right. Which you should always, try to keep in mind when programming drums.
Yeah,
Because it
but-
is super easy to just be like, oh, that's fucking impossible.
Yeah, even if you're a guitar player, vocalist, whatever, if you're just programming drums, I mean, these days, there's lots of MIDI pack libraries and great things to start with, but if you find yourself programming drums, even like spending a week or two learning some drum basics of just getting the feel of what it feels like to play them.
And get you a drummer friend.
Yes. But those few things will really help you in terms of like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Thinking through like, wait, would a drummer actually be able to do this?
Right.
Maybe I can't hit the hi-hat, the ride, and 2 toms at the same time.
I'm going to go all school. It gives you that framework to
Yeah.
kind of put you in that mindset of like, how would a dear drummer approach this shit?
Yes, exactly. Also, I rendered a file that I didn't need to.
Should have buff out.
It will. But I'm going to go delete that because if I don't, it's just going to waste space that I am running out of.
Dude, we are like 30 seconds away from a 2-hour broadcast. It's actually kind of flown by, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right?
Like,
And there's still so much to do.
it's insane.
We could probably finish this one up and start rapping.
Could this just pay me like my job so we could just do
Right.
this? Because this is, I gotta tell you, way more fun.
You've got the broadcast thing down, just sitting there eating that mic and talking to it all
hey,
nice
guys.
and deep.
Hey,
Dini's on this. He's got it down.
I've never even done this before. I just,
He's been on the other side enough.
yeah, that's fair.
Ugh.
Yeah, I could, just from my actual job, I could put on a great corporate event.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I feel like you do
I've never
pretty
done it
regularly.
before, but I could absolutely be a great corporate event guy just because I've done it 30 million times.
All right, well, let's check out this flam and see what it added.
Fantastic.
So evil.
That's mad. Yeah, dude. That's
I like it.
heavy, as they say. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I'm feeling the flam. All right, let's listen to this one more time, top to bottom, and I think we're feeling. I don't hear anything
No.
super jumping. I'll have to revisit it once I get my
you're
keyboards.
doing a
but
key, right? You're doing a key
I'm
part.
gonna
on this?
write them. I haven't written them yet, so
I'm gonna write them.
I'll have to get to that.
You know.
I gotta not start at the click track. This one has been rough to learn because Taylor, she's kind of a new lead guitar player, and it's a lot of like really jumpy, like all over the neck guitar stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting one for her. Yeah, that snare's got a lot more body now.
Stack your samples. I should take my advice.
more short and to the point tune.
I can always count on you for shit like this.
The funny thing is, this one wasn't my idea.
Who's
It was Eric's idea, actually.
Eric. Man,
And then as soon as he was joking around, I was like, yes.
wouldn't it be great if we did a blast beat right here? And you're like, yeah. Yeah, it would. It's perfect.
And if it's Transylvania,
I've never been to Transylvania, but it is 10 out of 10 Transylvania. Sorry, Transylvania. I know. Yeah.
cool.
Flim flam for the win.
Are you getting a call?
No, I don't think
Dinner
so.
time?
No. I
So
can go,
real-
though.
Was that?
I said I can. I can get the
Oh,
hell
no.
out of here. if
No,
you
you're
want.
good. I was going to say you want to see the other madness,
Yeah, let's check it out.
because this is only,
This is only one half, right?
oh, not even.
Not even half.
This
Jesus
one's got
Christ.
20 regions. I think the other one has 36 songs in it.
Yikes, bro.
Let's pull it up. Let's see.
You've been up to some shit.
I have been living in this room.
This is like way more fun than what I'm doing, though, to be honest with you.
This has been easily the most challenging project I've ever figured out, like how to make something this big and keep the resources free.
Yeah.
But it has definitely been the most, like, I wake up at 8 in the morning and I'm like,
Let's fucking rock this.
get in here. And
Yeah.
I sit in this chair until about 10 o'clock at night, at which I force myself to go to bed.
How bad does your butt hurt?
Oh, all the time.
Dude, Josh's butt hurts. He said it.
I am butthurt.
Jesus.
So this is,
I've been up since like 4:30. I am fucking delirious at this point.
so if I were to scroll through the songs here, this is
Hey.
each color. I color code them so I kind of have an idea of where
Yeah.
everything is. So, and I do that too with the markers, like,
Comfort and failure. I'm familiar.
Yeah. So the top thing here is tempo automations. So you
Okay.
can see Comfort is a nightmare of tempo automations.
As I remember.
So yeah, so far we're up to 36 tunes in this one.
How many originals do you have in this?
This one has, let me look through here. I've got 1, 2.
Show these people your tempo maps versus other people's tempo maps.
I think there's like 6 or 7
This is-
originals.
this
so
is
this
not
is an
show
an
them.
older original.
Show them.
Okay.
This
So
is fucking nuts, dude.
this is an older original. It just kind of has this one section of stuff. So what Dini's talking about, like somebody else's, would be like this: one tempo all the way through. Next song, one tempo all the way through. Pretty much all the covers we do are one tempo all the way through.
Yeah, and I mean, if any changes, they are slight changes.
Yeah, and there might be like one. One of our songs. Let's see here, cleansing. That one's okay. It's got a couple. It's got a decrescendo and then a slight crescendo in tempo. And then the crazy one is Comfort, which is just, this is the intro. And then it stabilizes for a while, gets a little slower.
Stabilize. Look at how many friggin' bubbles there are in there.
Yeah, that part's crazy. But this one, so I'm going to mute all those vocals here because that's just a rough track.
I gotta say, when he comes over to my spot and we start tracking, it's hilarious to watch these tempo maps come in.
He's just like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, like how do you even understand what is going on?
Yeah, that's all my guitar automation. Oh wait, sorry, that's not all of it. That's all of it. Because the way I'm rigging this is I record into this channel, which is 2 instances of Amplitude,
Okay.
and I have all the modules off except for the pedal boards.
Yeah.
And so like I'm using these as digital pedal boards, and then that routes down to I'm using like a 2 amplifier setup. And so it's just nightmare. But I was telling you about the items. So if you notice, some of these automation things have like little lanes to them.
Yeah.
So those are linked. So for example, if I were to look at these 2 tracks, the green here is the, if I can get a wide enough view here, this green and that green are volume automations. So for my 2 amps, if I turn one up, the other moves in tandem.
Oh yeah.
So I can automate multiple
neat.
tracks together for,
Yeah.
so like for example, volumes, reverb, delay, send, stuff like that, that all
Right.
gets linked. Oh, I also forgot to mention another thing I'm doing is
Oh, one more.
and I use this in varying amounts. So I've got 2 verbs and 2 delays, right?
Yeah.
I also loop my delays back into the verbs to soften them back
Yeah.
up.
You almost have to.
Yeah,
You know?
because otherwise it really jumps out.
Shoot your delays to your reverbs, folks.
And then on this one, I have one more delay track that I use for like the like the, let's see here, where did I do that at? Like the bounce echo kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Echo.
Where did I put that bounce echo? Right here,
Echo,
doing this kind of
echo.
thing. Oh, actually, this one will, like the bounce. So like all that stuff will be there live.
That's cool.
The instruments on this one came out pretty cool. I could probably use a little less verb on that, but I went through and got all the synths. And you'll be happy, I have my guitar on the right now.
Did I make a comment about that?
You did.
Sorry.
You were like, you're standing on the left and you're standing on the right and your guitar's on the left. What the hell?
That's such an asshole. I'm so sorry. Thanks for putting up with me, man.
So like I'm able to distort the shit out of the bass for this tune.
That's dope. Oh yeah.
And then so like I said, I'm trying to get.
My only problem with that though is that on the last one, I feel like it should get bigger after that. And it kind of stayed the same.
Yeah, I need to work on that because
Yeah.
I know exactly what you meant. I think what I need to do is kind of bring the level down before that and have it punch up a little bit.
It's a fun trick.
Yeah. So this one, once again, like a totally different. Oh, I need to turn everything on here. Let me.
I mean, that's hard though. I mean, like that's mixing. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah,
that's
and
the hard shit. Why doesn't it get bigger there?
Yeah. Why is it too big right now?
Yeah.
So I got like a more chilled out sound for this kind of song, and I went and wrote all the synthesizers. See if you recognize it. I'm also embarrassed to admit how long it took me to figure this one out. Like I probably spent like 2 or 3 hours getting this to work right. The ending, the
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta have that.
Yeah.
I had to have it.
So how'd you end up automating it? Just recording a mod wheel?
No, yeah, I had to chain the mod wheel to like a vibrato thing in the synth, and then
Yep,
like
yeah.
had to just play the crap out of it.
I figured out why I'm eating this mic. It's because it's like perfectly at my hunch level. So it's like I'm just hunched over and it's perfectly in my mouth.
So like for this
2
tune,
hours in, I figured this out.
yeah, don't you love that? Like I was telling you, I've got like that doubler track.
Yeah.
So I'm using a doubler here to like thicken Aldo and give him that like super shiny.
Mountain.
If you notice that pedal kicks on and off for this part, so it gives you that 12-string jangly.
Yeah.
And this one I'm using a more detailed EQ plugin that I'm automating throughout the tracks. And then I've also got like the effecty kind of stuff going on, like with this song. So the radio.
Lit.
And then I've got that combined with, there's this one part where he like, where's that at? Where
I
he
got
like,
Jimmy Eat World stuck in my head. Thanks
Right.
for that, Aldo.
it's gonna be stuck in your head all day. Right here, where he like, not only do I have the radio effect and like a tape delay, but he also cups to get this kind of
Oh,
cool
okay.
like.
I'll improve your thresholds. I'll turn you into a super drunk. And you will kill my command.
So I'm pretty. I made a mistake though.
What'd you do?
I built all these songs because like for Twitch,
Ruh-roh.
you need to have a lot of material because you're playing at the same.
Well, I mean, you're
you know what
playing
I mean?
like, yeah.
So it's not like you can take that same 10-song set and play a new city every night.
No, you should.
need-
You should totally do it.
Yeah. So you need a lot more. So I went and hurriedly built 36 songs in.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, well now I need to go back and like seriously mix these
And go
things.
all the way through.
And just like,
that's a
holy
lot,
shit,
bro.
what was I thinking?
You've got 30 songs to mix plus.
Yeah, 36 here. This one I'm pretty excited with. I don't have a vocal taking it, but I came up
my
with
God.
some cool little synthy things to start this tune off.
Skulls. I don't know if I'm familiar with this.
It's a Misfits tune. I don't have everything recorded, but
I like it.
just a simple pop punky kind of tune. So again, I'm doing the similar kind of thing here with the bass. So rather than having one channel, I have three different amps.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got an SVT3 here, and then I've got the GK, which I use for like these,
California
because you need that like ridiculous bass tone.
Shouts to Flea.
Yeah,
Holy
that like
shit, that sounded good.
that punchy. So that way I can do that, and then I'm also
Who played that?
automating.
Did you play that?
That's my brother.
Brother play that?
Yeah, he's been getting a lot better.
Darth. Killing it, player. Radius, help me out. Someone make an announcement.
Radius.
Come on, fuck. Help me out.
All right. So at any rate, that's that madness that I need to deal with.
Sounded good.
Hopefully you'll all forgive me as I build these things for live. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah? Need
Chilling.
water or anything?
I think I'm all right.
Let's listen to another. How do you feel?
Let's do it.
Are you feeling about ready to jump soon?
I'm getting kind of drained.
Yeah, we've been going for like 2 hours. Why don't we go ahead and call it?
Okay.
I'm going to take a little bit of break. That's the one thing with mixing too. You got to give your ears a break.
Yeah, we probably should have taken a break in an hour, to be honest with you.
Especially working in cans.
Yeah.
But I'll be back probably tomorrow night, be doing some music, and then Sunday night I'll have the full band here. Aldo and Darth Radius will be here, and we'll be doing a live stream.
Darth.
Yeah, Darth. We'll be playing a bunch of these tunes and kind of finishing up. So thanks everyone for coming and chilling. We're going to go ahead and head out of here, and I have a feeling I'll talk Dini into coming back and doing this with me again.
Yeah, this is fun. We should do this again.
All right, later.
Later.